Hello guys, in today's lecture we'll be talking about Boolean. So what is Boolean? Actually, this lecture will teach you how to implement conditions, initialize logical operators, and manipulate true or false value for effective decision making. So now, how does Boolean relate to implement conditions and logical operator with Booleans? Or what is Boolean itself? Or what do you even understand by Boolean? Or what is all this? Fine, let's just begin from what is Boolean. So my next slide here says Boolean is a data type that holds one of this value which is true or false. You know, our previous kind of lecture we have been treating, if you are actually following this particular programs, you have been actually following us from the start, or wherever you have seen one of my previous lectures, we talked about integer, like data type is an integer, and we actually talked about double, and we actually talk about float. So those are, or these are C++ programming language data type. So also Boolean is also a data type that actually holds a value in a variable. What does that mean? Meaning that you can actually store true or false in that specific variable. So you know, in our previous lecture we actually talked about integer, that we can actually store decimal. We can actually store decimal, and in our when we talk about double, we actually treated how we can store or use or manipulate the value of decimal or fractional number. So those are the actual value that we can actually store in that specific data type. But in Boolean, we can actually store a single data type in a variable. It's either true or false. We can actually store one of these two things. And you guys, I'm very sorry. Actually, I have actually almost completed this lectures. I was just trying to, do this video, and I was making the video. Everything just went off. Like I have to start again. Then actually started again, all over again. So I don't know if I should say sorry about that. Sorry about that to myself. I don't know, but it's okay. It's fine. So now I hope you guys understand what Boolean is. So Boolean. It's a data type that actually stores a single value in a variable. You all know what variable means. A variable serves as a container to our data type that we can actually put our value inside, or we can store our value inside. But actually, Boolean serves as a data type that actually holds a single value to a variable. It's either we store true or false. So how does this true or false relate, or how does it relate to condition, like we ought to have it like conditions, implement of conditions, or utilize of logical operators, or manipulate true or false value? Okay, fine. This is how these things get to intermix or interchange in each other. Fine. When I go to the third side, sorry about that, I have Boolean here. That's the title name of what we are talking about. We are talking about Boolean, and the data type in C++ programming language is just this Boolean. So it is a data type that is being recognized by C++ that actually stores a single value which can be true or false. Not also C++ programming language actually has Boolean. There are also other programming language that we can actually use Boolean in. But as we have been talking about, or we have been lecturing ourselves in this particular course, we will be talking about C++ as we have been saying. So Boolean is a data type that actually we can store single value, and that we can actually store single value, and that can be either true or false. So now if I move to this slide here, it says Boolean are often linked to condition or logical statements. For example, if you need to check whether a number is greater than another, the result of the of that comparison will be the true. Will either be true or false. Example, what this means is that it's actually have a kind of link to conditions and logical statements. So if actually you want to know or just like you want to know the highest number in a specific variable, or you want to check the highest number in a specific variable, maybe you have more number like that you can actually comprehend. So you want to check the highest number, so you can actually use Boolean to detect the highest number. So you're going to say maybe if the first variable is greater than the second variable, print true. So it's gonna send true or false. If it is false, it's gonna be false. If it is true, it's gonna be true. So Boolean actually accept or do something called comparison. It compares a specific data in order to get which or the highest or the lowest of it, or the biggest or smallest of the value that you're actually comparing. So it actually links to logical statement. Logical statement is another it's another type or topic on its own actually. But we won't be talking about that really much in this particular lecture. But I introduced it in this lecture in case, or in order to complete our or in order to find our specific topic easy to understand. Because without using logical statements, it will be very difficult to explain or to bring the Booleans to practical. It will be very hard to bring that stuff to practical. So to make the Boolean type crucial or branching logic, where a program can takes different paths based on decision. So it makes a programs actually makes decision by you making decision whether this is this or this is that. It gives you the access to make decisions. Program is all about logic actually. Most of us should understand that programs, everything all comprehends logic. But Boolean is actually one of the important data type that give us this kind of inspiration that makes us to be able to comprehend data between one and another. So I hope you guys understand what that means. It is used to comprehend actually whether it should be true or false according to the value given to it. So in the next slide, I have this simple story. So which is used in conditional statements. How do we use in conditional statements? So fine, should we use this? So a primary application of Boolean values is a conditional statement. On the norms, Boolean is a conditional because it's actually combined of conditional. It's you actually deciding on what, or the program deciding actually on what should happen or what not should happen. So by using this specific data type we have here, or identifier we have here, which is if. So by using if, you can actually decide whether something should happen or not according to our topic, which is Boolean. So it can be true. So if that if A is greater than B, true, or make it true, it's gonna say true. And else is to check is so it is when if doesn't really, if is not true, it goes to else. Because if A is greater than B, print what is inside this particular block of code. And if A is not greater than B, then it goes to else and print what is in else. But don't worry, we won't be talking about this else and else if much more, because this is not the class we should really talk about this. And because in case you get or miscalculated your lines in the course or in this particular lecture, so you guys should try and understand what this means. Just try and understand it. It's not really much. I will just give a very brief explanation about this identifier here. So if actually checks a comparison if this or that is true with the help of or with the assignment of Booleans. So if check if something is true or false. Then if it is true, then it prints what it is attached to this particular code here. Then if it is not true, it goes to the next one. The next one can either be else or else if. Else if is still you are still trying to make a conditional. Maybe else if it can be if A is greater than, or that goes to very extensive ways. But just understand that if statement is used to check a conditional, or if is used to check a conditional statement actually. So then if it is not true, it goes to the next one, which is else or else if, and print exactly what is in it is combined in this code in the block of code there. So the structure helps the program to execute specific blocks of code depending on whether a condition is true or false. Like I said, if a condition is true, it's either it goes to if and prints what is there, or if it is false, it's either it goes to else or else if to print what is in the block of code. So you're gonna understand what that blocks of code means when we get to the next next slide, or when we get to a specific area. So Boolean acts as the decision makers in these statements. So it acts as decision. It makes you decide on what to do and not to do. Or definitely it's kind of logical also. It's logical also, dealing with logical and conditional. So it might be something you might not even have the comprehension in your mind, or something that you're just trying to see how it works. So if you had Boolean to it helps and supports you in making decision decision making in your code, whether something is this or something is that. So in my next slide here, I have another stuff again, a very brief explanation. It's really brief, though it's really much on the screen, but it's brief. I'll bring that in very briefly. So now I have a traffic lights icon, or let's say image, on this screen. So I want to use this traffic light to explain what to give you an understanding of how Booleans work. Traffic light is a kind of gadget that works in a way that it tells if something should wait, if something should get ready, and if something should start going. It's a conditional state. It's a conditional perspective. If red light is active, it says you guys should stop. I mean the car user should stop, or whatsoever vehicle, whatsoever that particular passenger may be, or whatsoever person who owns the vehicle, or So actually, it is actually rules on the road, on the main road or the road. Of course, everyone have come across what traffic light is. We have actually experienced traffic light. So that is a very good example. That's why I just bring up traffic light for you guys to see, or to get what I'm actually saying. So now, whenever it is red, the car stops. In order to permit whether the pedestrian to pass, or other car to pass according to the design of the traffic light. So the next one, which is yellow, has an instruction and given to it, and green also have an instruction attached to it. So now we're going to use this image to explain what Boolean means. So traffic light is a very good example of a conditional executional programs that is designed to work on specific decision usage for user institutions. So it makes users of the road to make decision whether to move, to go, and not only the persons who drive the cars, and also the pedestrians should have, I think they have their traffic light to, I guess, or it should be, of course. So it makes you decide, or it decides for you in order to carry out some activities, just like that's what Booleans also does. So now I actually bring a manual, a very short manual for you guys to see yourself and just see. For use this manual to create a code. Okay, fine. I have traffic light manual here, and it said please comply to this active light. So now what is the active light? The first active light is red. So now we're talking about red here. So the maximum time of activation is 6. So once red is activated, it's used 6 seconds. So but what is actually joined together? I said stop or seize your vehicle, stop your car or your vehicle. Failure to apply this instruction will be charged $100. So no one wants to break such rules except you're trying to prove adamant, strong, or trying to prove so violent, and you break the rules, and it's like you pay $100 or you do some criminality aspect or to escape the scene. But actually you are meant to pay exactly $100 because you break or violate the rule. I mean, you violate the rule, or that guides this specific light here. So that is a specific condition given to you. The condition says do not, the condition says stop or seize your car. That is the condition. So what is meant for you to do is to stop. On the norms, it is meant for you to stop, or else you are ready to be charged for this amount, and you don't want to be charged for this. This is huge. And for what? Because you actually didn't want to wait for 6 seconds, and you lose this. That's messy. So this is not the real time. I'm just trying to bring this in order to have a very easy access to our timing. So don't worry, we're gonna explain that too. Why we are using this little time here. So the next one is yellow, which is active in the next box here. So yellow here is active. Yellow here is active. So it's active, and let's check what brought or what is combined of this. So maximum time of activation is just 3 seconds, and get your car or vehicle ready. Do not move your vehicle, else you charge 50. So now it's just for you to get your vehicle ready. It is not for you to move, or for you to go, or for you to stop, or for you to do whatever it is. The instructions given to it is get it ready, and do not move your vehicle. And that is the condition attached to it. It has the condition. The condition attached to it is sees it stopped. The condition attached to it is to get ready, but do not move. And the last one, which is green, which is active here, which is the third one here, is actually, sorry about this. So the last one, which is active here, is actually green, and it says you are free to move your vehicle, or thanks for avoiding charges. So that is a very specific condition also. Condition, I mean. So condition attached to every single light activation. So whenever every light is activated, they go by a condition, and which also explain more about Boolean. So it works with conditional statements, whereby if this is true, stop; if it is false, go. Stuff like that. But don't worry, we're gonna explain that. And by this time after 6 seconds here, after 6 seconds being waiting, you move to the next one, and after this one here, 3 seconds, you move to the next one, and after 6 seconds you go back to it's just like a loop, just keep happening like that. And that's how it works for the traffic. And let's make that with our code by using Booleans now. So now we have our data type here. Our data type here is called Boolean. So it's actually used to actually assess just data. It's either true or false. But actually I have 3 variables here, because the traffic lights are 3. So I have Booleans. I have the variable of red light. You know what variable is? It's serving as container. I've explained what variable is, and you guys should know what variable is. So now, and I have the value of true. So true, meaning that if red light is active or true, we should stop. So we have the next data type variables, and the condition and the value also, which is true also, and we also have which is false. So if we go to this particular code here, now we actually use the conditional statement. So the condition given to this is that if red light is equals to true, then cease, meaning that if the red light is active, if it is true, if it is active, true, print what is here. So it is true. Once you see it is true, your red light is active, this code gets kicked up and it starts running, and it tells, or it shows that your code should actually stop. I'm sorry, your car should actually stop, the vehicle should stop. That is necessary to do. And yeah, there is a particular code created, but it's really complicated, because I shouldn't really explain this in this particular lecture, but it really goes with, or works with, this specific example, because I am actually using timer. I'm using timer to time it for 6 seconds, and after 6 seconds it moves to the next one. But if I use specific code, I will be able to have access to timing. So this is just a timing code. This is just 3 lines of code, and I have declaring of initializing maximum value of 6 seconds actually. So 6 seconds actually. So now this is a data type auto. I won't really explain much about that. I'll just make it just little so we can actually get off from this, though I shouldn't really be explaining this particularly because we are not treating this I'll just explain just a little of it so you guys can understand how the Booleans work. So now I have variable which is start, and I have the assignment initialization or initializing part there, and I was like initialize this value in the start. This value here is to call up clock. It's just to call up clock for you. It is in the library of chrono. So it is in this particular library. So it is just to call up the clock. To call up the clock. It is a code that is being made in this particular library to call up the clock actually. So the next variable actually have ends. The next lines of code actually have auto, which is data type as well, and it has end, and it has initialization, but the initialization is different. How is it different? We have start, we have here. This is, like I said, this is just a call up. So a call up actually means just like it's like calling it up. So it's this actual value means is 0. It means is 0. That is what this start means here, 0. So here I said 0 plus the calling of clock, and I make the calling, I make it 6 seconds, and I added 6. So 6 plus 0 is 6 actually. So it is stored in this particular end. So whenever you call this end here, is 6 seconds that is stored in here. And in this auto here, it's a data type that actually can go or works with any different type of data type, or works with any type of variable. In a situation whereby you don't know the specific data type that is used here. I don't know the specific data type that is used in this particular library here, or this particular library here. I don't know the specific data type, so I can just use all that is used in this place here. I can just use auto. Auto is just to it's deduce the data types and make use of it. Just to it's actually used to use in a kind of way that you can use it. Sorry about that. It's also a data type, but you can't actually use it the way you use integers or other variable, but actually you can use it that way. So what am I saying? Sorry about that. I feel really so big there. So auto is actually a variable that's okay. Sorry about that. Actually, auto is actually used to deduce the data type we have in a kind of complex way. Example, maybe I use double here, and I use integer here, and I want to maybe add up these numbers. Integer and double, int and double, they are not of the same type, so I can't actually add them together. So in a way that I can just make it a complexity way that actually it's used to deduce a data type automatically by the compiler. It's used to deduce a data type. So you understand this more about when we actually extend our lectures to the advanced level, this should not really be used. Or explain more a bit. If I should explain this right now, it's kind of will be difficult for you to comprehend there. But right now, I just want you to understand that this is a data type that actually accept any type of or variables or data that we can't actually specify. We can't actually specify. So we can't actually specify the data in this place. So we actually use this data type, to accept the variable, to accept what is in this value and in the variable here, just because we don't know what is in this particular place or specifically. So now we have what we call while loop. So while loop is, or while I said it's just while right here. So while is actually a loop. Actually it is used to iterate, or it's used to iterate within a particular block of code or a code or programs until a specific decision is being met. So it goes until a decision is being met. So the decision we gave it here is that we make this call or clock. We said if it is less than end, it should what? Go continue printing, and when it is end, it should stop. So now we know that this call up here is 0. I said this call up here is 0. I told you it was 0 because we are actually passing 0 here. Call up here is just 0, and here we said end, it said start plus the seconds, and we have 6 to it. So 6 plus start, which is 0, is 6. I said if the call up, which is 0, is less than end that we have here, so if it's less than end, we should print 6. So once it is 6, it stopped. So that's what this code actually talks about. I hope you guys understand what that means. So no, the next one we actually have the same thing, if statement, and we're actually giving it true or stuff like that. So we actually have printing of get ready to go, just to get ready to go. So we actually have the same code that is written or have here in the same place, except this 3 that we have here. So that's just different as there. So in case you want to get, so we actually have 3 here, we actually have 3 here, and we actually have 6 and 6 here. 6 here, 6, sorry, 6 here, 6 here. And the last one, which is green. So green line says false. Said false. But I want to do something, I want to convert it to true. So this is what I'm going to do. So here I said if not, this exclamation means not. It means not. If not green is equals to true, we should print this. Definitely green is not equals to true. Green is equals to false. So this code is going to print. So it's going to follow those codes line by line until it meets specific target. So every traffic light we have here has been solved, or the manner that has been here has been solved by our code here. So we actually solve it by using Boolean to solve it. So in the next slide here, we actually have just easy and simple code or explanation example. Not really hard that much. So a cop is hanging nearby the road and monitoring the speed limit of every individual car's vehicle. If the speed of a particular individual exceeds the limit, the car will be detained or charged. Norms we should have get to note, or we should have experienced such, not by ourselves. I might have been watched or be told, or been watched on your phone, been told, watching a movie, that the car being detained when its radar detects it is high speed. So actually we actually have integer declared, and we have the variable which is max speed is 80. So the max speed that the radar can read is 80. Once the speed of your car it has reached or passed 80, your car or your radar will give a sign. I'm not a police, but I don't know how it does give the sign. So now it gives a sign, or it just gives the signs from the radar himself. So you guys Just so that it's going to give a sign from the radius, and when you give a sign from the radius, it's going to send a signal to the cops, and maybe the car will be detained or anything being charged of doing, or her anyway. So int minimum and speed. So the minimum speed should be from 79. So the car should not go 79 below. So once it has passed 80, or I said once it has passed 79, that means it has gone on the maximum speed, and the radar is going to detect it and it's going to stop it. So here we're going to use a Boolean to detect how does it calculate, or how does it know if a car has passed the limit or hasn't passed the limit. So the Boolean here, we have a variable, we have radar detect speed. So that's the variable we have here. And here we have the value of maximum is greater than, minimum is greater than maximum. So this is what this says. This is a Boolean which takes true or false. But in this actual code here, it says variables, and said minimum is if the minimum is greater than the maximum. Now this is the minimum, this is something that is greater than this particular one here. Definitely something should be wrong. That means the radar has detected its speed. So this is going to happen. So what will be here is true. Once the minimum has detected, something should go wrong. Goes wrong, something like that. So now I have a if statement here, and it's saying that radius, so this radius has been declared here, just to shows up here, and there was an assignment operator open and reaching both the minimum speed and the maximum speed. So with comma here, notice that there's comma in between them. So now this is going to detect if our statement is true or false. But now our statement is going to be true, because it's not going to, I don't know, does not matter if it is true or not true. But if the speed, or if the minimum, it is greater than the maximum, it will be actually, this code will print. The maximum will print. So the maximum will serve as what? True, and the minimum will serve as the false. Okay, no, sorry. Minimum, if this was greater than, it's going to be true. So if the minimum speed is greater than the maximum, it's going to be what? True. But if the maximum is, if it's not really great, it's going to be false. So we printed this out by saying stop the individual vehicle and be him or her or detained. So then we have else statement here. If the maximum it doesn't pass 80, which you have here, which is below 79, it should print safely. But something is going to go wrong, I guess. Okay, we're going to see those things out in the code. So in this one here, it said Boolean expression. Boolean expression are statements that evaluates to either true or false. They are typically used in comparisons such as checking if a variable is equals a specific value. So we actually check if a variable is equal, like what we have here. We are checking if these two are equal or if it is maximum, stuff like that. Or we also I think we use it here as well. So we are checking if it is equal here. This is where we check if it is equal. So we actually check if it is equal here, because that if the red light is equals to true and the red light is true, print this. So we actually check if it is equal. So that's what it means here. So the next one said determine if the number is greater than another. So if this here is talking about this one here, if the number is greater than one another, so we have maximum, so we have minimum. So if the number is greater than this, or then print what is there. So that's what we have. Or if the minimum is greater than the maximum, print what is there. And the minimum is not greater than the maximum, so this code is not going to be printed. I guess this is what is going to be printed, because the minimum is 79 and the maximum is what? The maximum is 80. So this code won't really print because the minimum is not greater than the maximum. So this code is not going to be printed. So this is what is going to be the drive safe. So we're going to check both this other side too, even if it is maximum, even if it is minimum, stuff like that. So verifying if a value falls within a certain range. So those are the expression of Booleans. Sorry about this, I didn't really complete this. Oh god, I should not really bring this up. Oh god. Okay, I should delete this. So summary, a Boolean is a data type that holds true or false. So I'm just trying to show a summary of what Boolean is: a conditional statement and loop. So we actually use loop here actually. So we use loop in this place. We use while loop. We use loop here. If the target is being met, so we use loop of 6 seconds. Loop is something that continues to happen until a specific until a specific aim has been met. So that is what loop means. Or if not been met, there can be infinite loop. Not up has been must be met, but actually that's what loop means: to iterate, to keep happening until a specific something happened or triggered it to make it stop. So loop really had heavily on Booleans to control the workflow. So it's really kind of comprehends kind of it. So that's why I said this one is kind of a little bit comprehend for you to understand, but don't worry, I'll try as much as possible to make that easy for you to use. Okay, so logical operators allows for complex evaluations and decision making. So this is just a very simple logical operation making. So this is just logical. I'm sorry, this conditional actually is not logical, it's conditional. Logical could be this is logical. So if this is greater than this, do this. So that is logical for you. It's logic, is applying of logic to it. If a is greater than this, if maximum speed is greater than minimum speed, do this. If the minimum speed is greater than maximum speed, do this. That is a kind of logical. So we have Boolean expression, we have evaluate condition that determines which code is executed. So it determines which code should be executed. So that's Boolean for you. It holds true and false. And the size of Boolean is just 1 byte in memory. 1 byte. So 1 byte doesn't mean that it's just 1 byte. So 1 byte means 8 bits actually. 8 bits means 1 byte. So now let's go to the code and check everything what we have been treating or talking about earlier here. So let's check everything here. So now my Visual Studio is open already. So to make it easier for us, we're gonna copy most of our code we have. We're gonna be copying most of them, so we can have a very easy and fast used. First of all, I'm gonna copy this, and yep. Oh, I duplicate it. So okay, fine. So I'm gonna copy everything we have here and go to this slide. Okay, there's gonna be error. I knew that was gonna be error because the strings, the double quotes is different. Just because of the front that has been used, that's the reason why it's different. So the front is different, definitely the quotes will be different. So this one are bringing me red. What's going on? Definitely, you guys should know that we haven't usually used the library yet. The library is not yet. I said it is from this specific library, clone library. So we're gonna call up the library. So I'm gonna write there. So it's gonna ignore those things since the library has been used. So everything is gonna be clean and clear. You shouldn't give us this again anyway. So now what do we have again? I think that's all for this specific aspect. Okay, let's run our code. You don't have any issue again. I guess you don't have any issue. So I hope you guys understand that if statement, I declared my variable which is true, and if it is true, print this thing that is here. Definitely it is true, so it will print what is here. So this is just equals to, sorry, let me zoom this thing properly. So this is just equals to, so if it is true, print this, which is true. So when it is true, it print this and go to auto and run this timer of 6 seconds and goes to this part and stopped here. So it goes to the next one again and check the next one and said if the next one also is true, next one is actually what's true. So it's going to print the next one and get ready to go. So once it is true, it's also work on these same lines of code and do the same thing as well. And when it's stop there and it goes to this particular place again and said if not, green is true, definitely green is false, definitely it should print. But if you said if green is equals to true, it should not print, because green is not equals to true. Don't worry, we try those things. Then let's just run our code then. Terminal build task. Should not be really expensive these actually. I hope we did the correct ones. We're still bringing red. Sometimes the code editor used to do somehow like. Sometimes the code editor misbehaves somehow, and let's just check it out. It's taking too long. Sorry. Okay, so I don't want to waste time, and while this is running, so now let's try and check the next. Let's try and divide the next slide for the next one that we have. So the next one is going to be for the corps and stuff like that. Let me go and copy the code and set it. It's going to waste our times, and we are trying to use less time, and so we have, okay, fine, let's just try and, okay, build successfully. Now it's successful. There was an error there again because it wasn't really, the editor is really making mess of itself, so now let's try and check what we have. So now I'm going to view the terminal and check the code. I'm going to see what is seen, or how our code being run. Let's check how our code is being run. Seems damn slow. Okay. So now I'm gonna hold on for 6 seconds and it's gonna print the next one. So 6 seconds, you can count it. You can count it if you feel like. So after 6 seconds, it's gonna say seize your vehicle and stop. So it should print. Please be fast. 6 seconds is okay. Oh my god, what is wrong with this thing? Up to not intrude my does intrude. Okay, get ready to go, free to go. You know, it's printing very fast. Maybe my antivirus. I can let me just. So now let's try and check. Okay, now this is good. After 6 seconds, yeah, this is good. So now the first one prints, or let me try and add something to it so it will really make sense. Let's say, okay, sorry. Let's say activated. So it's gonna be red lights disabled. Sorry, it's gonna be red light disabled, and it's gonna be red light disabled here and red and yellow light activated here. So it's gonna be red light activated here, red light activated, and here is gonna be disabled. For yellow, it's going to be disabled. So yellow is going to be disabled. Disabled. It's supposed to be disabled. Okay. So now red light is activated, then it sees your cars, then it's deactivated. When is it deactivated? When this stuff has stopped running, it deactivates it and it goes to the next one here. Let's just divide the code so we can actually see how it works. Actually, it really works. Then just divide the screen with this particular stuff here. So now let's just use this and copy this and let's reuse it here. So now it should remain this for green lights. The green light should also have its own. Copy and paste there. So let's say green lights activated. And we have disabled here. Then it happens again that it continues from the red light. So that is how it's been. After don't let me really extend. If I should extend this, that means I have to call up the time. That's the timing stuff. So this thing I have to be there. It said it has to be 5 seconds, so it has to call it up again. So I don't really want to use that since you know how it works. So let me stop here, or let me just use disable and it works very fast, and so it can really work very fast. Not to use the timing stuff. Or should we even do that stuff? Just to make it's gonna take our time. So now let's say it's a green light and disabled. Green light disabled. So now we have adjustments in our code. So let's try and run it again and let's see how it runs. Okay, so now let's just try and check what is there. Okay, good. Red light activated, vehicle sees your vehicle, stopped. It stopped like that, and then red light disabled, then yellow light activated, then stop. Green light see. So it looks very logical, and so let's try and run it again and just see it. Our footprint on here. So sorry, that's very bad line with codes. So activated, now it's activated. That red light is activated and our timer is working for 6 seconds, stopped and has been disabled, and yellow light is activated, 3 seconds, stopped. and green light activated. So that's how you can use Boolean. So through the help of Booleans, we are able to make some conditional statements here. We make some condition, adding condition to our green light. You're adding condition to these things here. So if this is true, make use of this code. If this is true, make use of this code. So those are conditional statements. So I hope you guys understand what that means there. So now let's go to the next one. So in case we have some kind of some misunderstanding in our code, let's just try and comment this out, and let's work on this next one here. Okay, so yeah, let's copy what is found here, and so now good. Okay, what's wrong? Booleans. What is wrong? Come in first. Maybe because I am using they have the same types and they're having issue here. Come in. Okay, so we have issue in our code here. It's talking about we have error here. Maybe because we use booleans and integer, but I don't think that really matters, just for comparison, guys. I think what actually happened is that there will be error here because I use this. Really looks like a function to me. It really looks like a function. That's the reason why it didn't work that way. So now what we can actually do to make this code work is that we have to declare this as, we have to use this as a function. This specifically we have to use it as a function, and if it's as a function, I don't think we should have any issue. So let's try and call up a function up here. So can just use booleans, and you say video detect speed. So then I'm gonna say int max and int main, and you said return max is or is greater than max. If minimum is greater than max, then you should print what is there. So now I said this is a function that we have declared a function here having boolean. So now I'm gonna do it, should be able to work for us right now. So let's try and clear this stuff away. This doesn't really matter, and now it works. So I use function to actually sort this thing out. So it looks like functions. So to make this happen, I actually declared a function outside the box there. I hope you understand what I actually explained functions in our previous lectures, and I hope both you understand what function is. So I actually use function as boolean. That's a data type which has a return type here. So I use a function that has return types. So I returns the maximum value here. So the maximum value which is minimum, or let's say I return my maximum value which is using by this specific variable here. So now if you go down here, I have this the maximum and minimum. So the first one, this maximum represents the max, and the minimum represents this one here. So now if you go back here, this is gonna be 80 and this is gonna be 79. So now if the code region which is the returns the maximum, return the minimum here is return the if minimum is greater than maximum. Sorry, let me just run this code. Okay, so now let's try and check what is there. Safe drive. Yep, like I said before, that it is safe drive that is going to happen because the maximum is not, the minimum is not greater than the maximum. So if the minimum is greater than the maximum, it will print out what is there. If the minimum, this one is greater than this one, it will print what is there, but it's not greater than. So now let's change the value. So let me use on 81. So it's going to print the first one here. If the minimum 81 is greater than this one, it will print the first one that is there. It will print what is there, true. But it will print what is there actually. So now let's run it and let's see ourselves. So you should be expecting, yeah, stop the individual vehicle and bail him for detaining, because the minimum speed has been passed. The minimum speed that should be run by the vehicle has passed the radial speed. So that's has passed the maximum speed which has been stored in the radial array. So now that's just it for the. Sorry about that. I'm a little tired. Okay. Now let's check the maximum. Oh, sorry, I said maximum. Let's check the size of Boolean. So size of Boolean should be 1 byte. One byte, I mean. So now if I should run this, I should expect no. And I clicked the wrong stuff. Run active file. So let's try and run this and check the size of volume in the memory. So it's gonna be 1. Okay, unsigned long. Okay, unsigned long. This is gonna be bytes actually. It's gonna be a byte, I mean. Yep, so this is just 1 byte. So 1 byte is equals to 8 bits. So you should understand what that means. 8 bits in binary format, that means in binary. So I hope you guys understand what this everything is really we'll talk about. So I hope you understand what Boolean is. It is used to check, or it's a conditional statement. It stores whether true or false. It stores true or false in the memory. And I want to check some things in here in this particular part here. Let's try and check some things here. So in this particular page here, I wanted to do something more like this part here, where green light is false. So now let's make the green light, let's make it true. Let's say green light equals to true, and let's see what's going to print out. You see that it will not print these specific lines of code. The last one it shouldn't print it because it is false. It should not print it for us because it is false. and let's express our codes. Okay. Okay, 6 3 red light stop, then it's gonna run for 6 seconds, and okay, this is gonna stop for 3 seconds, and it doesn't print the last one, which is this one here. Why? Because it is true, and then it is not true because it is false, so it doesn't print this last one here. So if even if you have false here, it won't print this one also. If you have false here, it won't print it. So it is used to check the conditional statement to check if it is true. If it is true, it will print it according to our Booleans, according to the way we initialize it here. So, and that's it. And it's used to run a loop, infinite loop also. Let's try and do something really crazy small. And I know it's going to crash our programs, but I'm going to stop it actually. So now let's say I said Boolean while loop is very while loop is iterator. It's a loop, or I said loop. Yeah, it's surely a loop. So if red light is true, so then we should run so this code is gonna run forever. So now this actually I'm done with the lecture. So I just want to explain what how this loop works with true statement. If it is true, it will keep running and it will never stop. So it will just say keep running or keep going. Let's say keep going. Keep going. So if you run this particular code, it's gonna run forever and ever and ever and ever and ever until it's used all our RAM, used everything up. It will keep running forever. Because this is why he said if red light is equals to true, print this thing. Sorry, why red is why red is equals to true, print this thing. And why is iterator? It's a loop. So it's loop that continues. So this statement meets its target. It meets a specific condition here, but we didn't set a condition to set if it's reached this stop here, it will stop. No, it's just keep going. It will just keep going and keep going and keep going forever. So now let's try and bring the screen up and see what is gonna happen. And let's see what's gonna happen. Okay, so now forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, this is what's going on. So let's do this fast. So this is keep going. That's gone beyond what we expected. That's keep going. Just look at this part here. It's moving. So let's stop our programs here. So this code is gonna keep running until a specific target or a specific aim is being met, but there is no specific aim we set here. You just said if it is true, just keep going, and it is true, and keep going forever and ever like that. So that is the work of loop, while loop, and together with this Boolean. If it is true, once something is true, it keep going. Once something is false, it doesn't really go or go according to what we expected. Okay, that's all. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.